Friday, thank God it's Friday. Friday, ooh, 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 thank God it's Friday. Friday, Friday, Friday. Good morning, gang. It's Friday, the 12th of June, 2012. Don't mention the war. Whatever you do, don't mention the war. Da, 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 da. Don't mention the war. Don't mention it. It'll be taken off the telly. There'll be nothing to watch on the television soon. Except for me. How lucky are you? One by one, all the programmes are being removed. All I'll have is me and Naga Monchetti on there. How wonderful will that be? Oh, dear. It just goes on, doesn't it? Anyway, good morning to you, gang. I don't know what it's going to be like today. We've got rain forecast, which is rather disappointing because we've got a little bit of washing to do. Got washing to do from the doctors. You remember I went down to the doctors yesterday? Yes, I went to visit my doctor. What a nice man. I actually went to a surgery that I've never been to before. They've got our practice... I knew they had two surgeries. They had a third one, which I completely didn't know about it, which was, funnily enough, in Crowthorne, which a little place that I keep going to at the moment, as you only started going there sort of recently, because they've got a Lidl there, and it's always so much quieter than the other than Aldi that I normally go to. I've never queued there or anything, and I try and choose a time where it's not going to be too busy. And I went down the doctor's there. It's all very cloak and dagger, as I mentioned yesterday. Oh, yes, yeah. So you pull up into the car park, right? And then you just have to wait for a phone call. And there were people going to the door, pushing the button. It was quite funny, actually. Every time someone pushed the button, someone else came out, opened the door, and immediately rubbed the button with the disinfectant. I was very, 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 very impressed with the cleanliness going on at the doctor's surgery that I visited yesterday. I felt completely safe. I wasn't bothered at all in catching anything as I went through the door, to be honest. Not like normal in the sort of old... When I say the old days, I'm only talking a couple of months ago. In the old days when we used to all sit there, didn't we? And then someone would, oh, how are you? Achoo! And sneeze in your face. Not a pleasant experience. Really? Achoo! They're all sitting there, blood pouring out on the floor, people walking in with half a leg hanging off, bloke walking out, walking in, he's, what's wrong with his face? And he's holding his hand like that. There's an eyeball in his hand where he's walking into the doctors. Don't have to do that anymore. Don't have to look at these people. How bleeding wonderful is that? I love it. I love it. So you sit in your car. You've made your appointment on the telephone earlier on, as you know, yesterday. Sit in your car, and then the phone rings. Okay. Oh, hello, it's Dr. Stone. If you'd like to meet me at the front entrance, I'll let you in now. It's all locked. All locked out. And he comes out, and he's got like a mask on like that. I can't remember his name now. It's such a nice man. He really was. Anyway, so I went in there. There's no one sitting in the waiting room at all. I suppose we might be doing away with waiting rooms now. I mean, this seems a very good way to do it. There's no cross-infection while you're sitting there in a waiting room. Forget the virus that's going on. I don't know why this wasn't tried years ago. Blooming marvellous. Not only are the people that you're avoiding doing the sneezing, achoo, 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 and the coughing, then there's all the little dears, bless their hearts, playing on a dirty, disgusting floor. Well, it's not, it's cleaned. But you know how it is with a floor. You clean it at, 10 o'clock. At 10:10, 10 people have walked across it. Well, it's not clean anymore, is it? With various things possibly attached to the bottom of their shoes. The biggest, worst one, of course, being the old DD, known as dog dirt. Dog... Oh, isn't that horrible? When you go outside and do something, and you don't realise sometimes, do you? Especially if you're in the garden. In the garden, maybe one or two of you have got dogs and you've walked in it. And you haven't noticed. Not until you get back in the house and you close the door. What's that? And then you look on the floor. Footprints of dog dirt. Oh, no. How awful. No, thank you. Not a pleasant experience. Anyway, you don't know that doctor's surgery full of dirt. Not only that, the actual bacteria and viruses leaking out of small people, running around all over the floor, playing with toys. Dreadful. Dreadful. And then they get called in, don't they? And then in they go. Do the toys get put back in the box? No. They continue to lay on the floor waiting for the next excited little faces to come in and play with toys, which are now covered in viruses and bacteria and little pieces of sick that the last lot have left on there. But no one's cleaned them. No one's put them back in the box. The parents are completely oblivious that now everyone is tripping over toys and things left on the floor in the doctor's surgery. No one says anything. Excuse me, could you put... You talk to me? You talk to me? I'll do what I like with my kids. It'll be a bit like that, won't it? Oh, you don't dare say anything, dear. No. And then the poor receptionists, who's just probably... Those wonderful receptionists and doctors, aren't they popular? They really... Oh, hello. Yeah, could I get an appointment? Oh, yes, we got one for 8 months' time. Oh, that's the last one. Do you want it or not? Oh, yeah, I have it. Thank you very much. Bang. Watch it. Beware forget the Ides of March. Beware the doctor's receptionists. Actually, the doctors I go to are very, very good. If they think there's something wrong, bang, you're in there the next day. Oh, sorry, that day. Really. Fantastic. Forget the children playing. Forget the dirty chores, the floors, the seat that you're sitting on. Covered, dear. Covered in germs. I mean, last time I sat on a chair in a doctor's surgery, I could actually feel it moving. There were so many germs on there. They thought I was having some sort of fit. No, it was the germs making me move. I didn't say Germans, dear. Germs, dear. Germs. Don't start writing letters of complaint here. Trying to get this programme taken off as well. I said germs. Germs. Stop hearing what you want to hear. Stop seeing what you want to see. Listen to what's being said in humour. Remember that? Do you remember that, lovey? Humour. Things, people used to laugh at things without being, oh, wow, that's offended. So you've sat there on the dirty chair, you've tripped over a few toys, and then to take your mind off it, you pick up a magazine in a doctor's surgery. Well, you might as well start digging your grave now. You might as well start digging that grave now. How many dirty, disgusting fingers have touched that magazine? It's horrifying, really, when you think about it. Absolutely horrifying. You turn over to... Oh, it's sticking... The page is sticking together. But what do you do then? Do you put the magazine down and then go and wash your hands? No, you don't. You try and unstick it so that you can read the article, because it'll be the only article in that magazine, whatever one it is, women's magazine, men's magazine, motorbike magazine, model railways magazine. Now, I'd be interested. I do question that, actually. How many people in a doctor's surgery want to look at model railways? There must be like an enthusiast that keeps going in there with various ailments, and every time he or she goes in there, brings another magazine with model railways in it. Anyway, so you've now infected yourself, right? By the time you actually get into the doctors, right, you've now got 2 million other things wrong with you other than the small minor thing that you were sitting there in the waiting room in the first place, because you have now been infected. Infection has prevailed. Oh, yes. You have now been infected through sitting in that doctor's surgery. Stay out of doctor's surgeries. That's what I say. Anyway, so I got there and the phone rang. Please meet me at the door. He opened the door and I followed him. He said, have a seat down there. And I looked at the seat, with trepidation. Oh, my God, a seat that other people had been sitting on. I'd already had a shower in preparation for a possible examination. I'd had a shower straight after the show yesterday. I went in the shower. So I'm now in the doctor's surgery, explaining what was wrong. He said, okay, have a little hop up there. So I laid on that thing. He said, I'll have to take your trousers down. Okay. So, and the pants came down as well. Okay, then. And he's having a little feel. Now, the problem is kind of between my leg and my bits. Okay. On the right hand side. That's where, so if you've got leg there, leg there and that bit there, just below the stomach, that's where the problem appears to be. Anyway, So very, very nice. He was such a nice doctor, I can't tell you. And he was doing his thing, and he put his hand on various parts of me, and I had to cough. Obviously away from me. I had my mask on as well, incidentally, in there. I had my not gas mask, I had my virus mask on there that my nephew and his wife had sent me. So I had that on there. And he's having a feel around and asked me to stand up then and did everything again. Okay, and I said, actually, when it stands up, the problem seems to go away. It's when I'm laying down or sitting down. So he's done all that, asked me various questions about my job. Do I lift staff and all that? And I don't really, How long's this been going on? I said, about 4 weeks now. I said, I've had it in the past, kind of on and off. He said, okay. He said, well, and then he had a little feel, a man's feel, if you see what I mean, of man things. And said that was all okay as well. And he said he didn't think I had a hernia at all, which is what I think Peter Paliwoda Peter Paliwoda sent me an email about that. They thought it was that. No, it's not that at all. Because it's nothing to sort of push up or hanging down. It said it's possible that there's something popping out and then going back in again. He said, but actually, if it's not causing problems, we usually leave that alone. Okay, fair enough. He said, but I'm going to put you through for 2 ultrasonic sounds. Does that sound right? Ultrasonic sounds? Ultrasounds. It's ultrasounds. I'm going to put you in for a couple of scans, he said. One on your groin and one on the man's bits, just to check there's nothing wrong there. And we'll go from there. He said, but nothing to worry about. Then I had to wee in a tube. And then he took that back and put something in it to see. And there's, no, that's perfectly all right. No blood or anything in there. He says, really, don't worry about anything except, he said, if you suddenly get a pain in that area, go straight to casualty. Okay, well, what that be? That means something's been getting strangled down there. I said, what sort of pain is it? He said, I don't need to describe it. You will know. He said, you'll know about it as soon as you get it. It's quite bad, apparently. So if that happens. But at the moment, nothing really to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. So there we are there. And we await the scans. He did advise me, actually, that there'll probably be a bit of a wait for the scans. And as you know, it's not too bad, in all honesty. It's not too bad, in all honesty. So we'll see how that goes. All right, that was my little morning yesterday. The doctor's visits. And then we wash our hands afterwards. He makes sure that it was actually the gel stuff. You gel your hands. And that's it. And as I went out, I knew I'd been a good customer because as I left, he said, look, it was really, really, really nice to meet you, Mr. Reardon. I don't over-talk there. He's got a job to do. And certainly, I think sometimes when someone's tapping away on a keyboard, someone of importance, like in a doctor's surgery, possibly a nurse, large organisation or something like that, when someone's tapping away on a keyboard, you don't want to be talking to them because then they can muck up and it's your fault because you can't shut your mouth for 5 minutes, Oh, how annoying is that? And the people that talk on and on incessantly when they've got nothing actually to say. Tap, 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 tap. And I waited, and then we had sort of minor conversations while I was talking about my work and that. And I said, I'm not sure that I'll be going back, to be honest. I can't see it happening. Can't see the karaoke thing happening for some time now, let alone singing in church or anything like that, But that's it. So I went out, got back in my car, came back here. Immediately, I took off all my clothes and had a second 2 showers within an hour. I was so clean yesterday. Clean, dear. Clean. Had a shower, put all my stuff in the washing machine, but I couldn't turn it on because it was pouring down with rain outside. And I was going to do my washing today. Again, we've got rain forecast today at 12 o'clock, so I need to be out and having my walk before then, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. I noticed a couple of you have downloaded the brand new walking cycling app that I discovered the other day called Relive. And it plots out the course of your walk or your cycle or your hike, whatever it is. And you get a little map. It's just blooming wonderful, that app. I'm sure 1 or 2 of you have done that as well. So good luck to you on that one. We've got a couple of emails. Thank you very much to Peter, who sent me the email about the hernia there. Thank you, Peter. It wasn't that, but thank you very much anyway. It's much appreciated. And thanks very much to someone else who sent me, I think it was more of a private email, telling me how much he liked the show there. This particular person had another problem down there, but on his man parts, you know. But he had got tested, and I don't know how they do a biopsy. They take a bit out. I don't know. God knows how they do that. But does someone slice something open and pull it? It's a bit squeamish with things like that. So yes, I'm glad you didn't have the problem either as well there. All right, okie doke, gang. Let's just have a look at a couple of your messages before we carry on this morning. I don't think I've got anything to show you, incidentally, today. Where should we pick up from? Let's go to the bottom there. I think we'll go to the bottom. How do you cope with us all on here gassing then? Well, I don't look at your conversations. Why would I have no interest in your conversations with each other? No, it's not. That's not the sort of show I do. If you want to watch a show that just sits there reading out messages, you'd soon get very bored. I'm telling you that now. No, I try to offer a little bit more than that on there. That's why I don't refer to the messages sometimes. You know, you just keep reading out messages all the time. There's no show. That's how it is. Morning to Michael Lawrence, Jason Hughes, Andy, John Parrish. Good morning to you. Heidi Young. Hello to you, Heidi. Hello to you, Heidi. Who else have we got here? Anyone say anything interesting? Heidi's been missing. Incidentally, Heidi, I believe we've got a possible. I mean, it doesn't affect us because our caravan site's been open for some time now. But in the Daily Mirror today, it says the Camping and Caravan Club says demand is increasing and hopes to reopen on July the 4th as part of the government's lockdown easing phase 3, with many Brits reportedly planning staycations this year. Yes, I can see the cost of hiring a caravan, like a Haven holiday or something, rapidly increasing now, because everyone will want to stay on holiday here, which, I mean, it's probably the only little bit of good news for the economy that I can find, to be honest. You know, if everyone's going to hire a caravan and stay in places, and let's be honest, some of these seasides have been struggling for years. I mean, I went to Cleethorpes when I was working at Cleethorpes on a Thursday. Was it a Thursday night or a Wednesday night? I was working in Cleethorpes, either a Wednesday or a Thursday night, throughout the summer period, actually. And to be honest, it was never really that busy. I'd get there at about 8 o'clock at night, 7:45, 8 o'clock at night, and set up my karaoke stuff in this little bar there. But outside, it was never really that busy. So if it's going to bring people to UK seasides, then that is one good thing that perhaps might occur from all this. Perhaps people will start going to British seaside resorts and sort of deciding to themselves that actually, you know, it's easier to get in the car and travel for 3 hours than go on a plane journey and sit on first of all, be at the airport for that same 3 hours, sit on a plane where it's all stuffed up and you're close to someone you don't even know, pushed up against them on a plane, and then all the business at the other, and then they're going through the passports and all that business, and then you get to the hotel and it's not exactly what you wanted. And you know, if you was to do that here, you got to a caravan and you really hated it, you just jump in the car and come home again. Well, you can't do that if you go to Spain, Thailand, Australia, France, or wherever else you're going in the world, can you? You know, maybe people would decide, well, actually, we quite like holiday in the UK. I suppose there's a lot of people out there that have always just gone abroad, haven't they? You know? I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been to some wonderful places all over the world, but do I like travelling? No, not really. No. There's a lot to be said for sitting in your car, closing the door, and then just driving at your convenience. Not at the convenience of the airline or the airport or the security stuff. At your convenience within the speed limit. That's all you got to do. Not knock anyone over. Don't go through red lights and don't break the speed limit. That's all you've got to do. Different on a plane, isn't it? Got a text here. Morning to Peter this morning. The Who Man here. You popped up when I went on YouTube. I didn't know you was a superstar. Peter the Who Man. Who is Peter the Who Man? I don't know who that is. Peter the Who Man. Peter the Who Man. Not Doctor Who. Not Peter, who I thought was Doctor Who used to come at the karaoke. Is that you? I'm not sure which one you are, Peter. So there we are. Anyway, back to this this story here. It says the Camping and Caravanning Club is hoping to reopen sites in England from July the 4th. As you know, Heidi, our site was open in April. The difficulty was we weren't allowed to stay away overnight. I know some people did. That's up to them. And my sister kept, oh, well, other people are there. Yeah, it doesn't make it right. I'd be the one that gets caught. No, I'm not breaking no laws. I'm waiting for permission from the great Bojo himself. Hi, Chris. I expect a private phone call from him. Oh, hello, Chris. Yeah, it's Bojo here. Yeah, just to let you know, it's all right. Oh, it's all right now. Oh, yes, yeah. You can travel. You can travel now. You can travel now, Chris. In that funny voice he does. The hair, dear. Have you noticed he's got a massive bald spot there? That's why the hair's so like that. He's trying to cover that up. Don't think I haven't noticed, Bojo. It says all of the club's camping and temporary holiday sites have been closed since March the 22nd. This is the Camping and Caravanning Club, so they're hoping. It says everything is reliant on the green light from the government, with guidance from Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland being monitored there. So tents as well. Tents as well will all be open there. We used to go camping with the scouts and all that business, which was quite nice. Morning to Terry H this morning. Hello to Charlie Ray. Morning, Charlie Ray. One of our TikTok people on there. By the way, Charlie Ray, have you met Rachel, who is queen of TikToks? She is actually on this show. I don't know if she's there today. Rachel, are you there this morning? Let's have a little flick up there. I can't see her. There's quite a lot up there, isn't there, really? Morning, Shania. Peter right there. Okay. Morning, Gary. Jason's back to work on the 1st of July. Can't see that happening, to be honest. I'm not going to be happy going several different places every day. Too much risk for me. Have you got yourself a proper mask, Jason? You know, you want one of those proper masks, not a material one. They don't work. If someone's made you a mask, that probably doesn't work. You know, the little holes are too big in it, in the material. You might not be able to see through it. There was a bloke on the telly who said, if you want to know how good the mask is, hold it up to the light. The more light that you can see, the worse, the less effective it is. You know, so a bit of a waste of time there, really. Morning to George Bond this morning. Michael says, tomorrow we can go and visit friends, but you cannot go and see another friend after. Tomorrow we can go and visit friends, but you cannot go and see a other friend. Try that again, Michael. Don't understand that. Andy's heard one of the protesters would test positive for the virus, so I get to your caravan before the second spike comes, Chris. Yeah, what I don't want is to be stuck there. Okay? I love my caravan very much. I've got bits and pieces, and I can do little bits and pieces in there. But obviously I can't do up there what I can do down here at the house. My life is here. You know, everything's in here. I can't, I've got no printer to print anything out or send emails send letters and things like that. Peter, can I put some caravans in my garden? Have you got a big garden, Peter? Yes, I think you could, actually. You can probably put a mobile home in there. Yeah, I looked at a house, actually, to buy near my sister. Rowton, I think it's called, Rowton. And so I went into this house, and they had actually put a mobile home for one of their mothers, you know, because they were older, about the same age as me, perhaps a touch older than me, and they were selling. They had the most wonderful view from this house. Wonderful view, but it wasn't expensive either. The house wasn't expensive. I could easily have afforded that, sold this, and had a load of cash. I could have had really expensive Land Rover or something like that if I'm sort of interested in expensive cars, but I haven't really. And they actually had a mobile home in their massive garden, which they'd put in there for one of their mothers. Yeah, and they had the electric coming in there and all that. But actually, he was very proud of this mobile home, and he took me first in the house, which was very nice, and then the mobile home, and it was all very nice. You know, they had heating in the mobile home and everything. And I'm, first of all, I'm thinking, wow, this could be like a separate studio from the house. But then, of course, you've got the extra heating, the extra electricity charge, and it had its own meter, so that's another standing charge to pay. And you have to think about all these things. You know, first of all, you look at it and think, wow, You know, I've got all that space there. Look what I could do with that. The backdrops, I could have several different sections in there and walk from one to the other. Just like they do on BBC News 24. Perhaps a little jingle as I move from one desk to the other. I could do weather forecasts, everything. Have a map up there and stick little stickers on there like Michael Fish. Oh, wow, there's some wind coming. But don't worry, it's not a hurricane. But then when you think about it, you know, like I say, 2 lots of heating, 2 standing charges. It's just, no, I don't think so. Not only that, he had an electric wet heating system. So what's that? Basically, the boiler is replaced with elements which are wrapped around a pipe. That is the boiler. Literally 2 very, very powerful elements wrapped. I don't think there was a tank. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a water tank. But these elements are wrapped around the pipe, and that basically is how the water is heated. Then he told me, and he had solar panels, and his electric bill was like £100 a month. Well, mine's nothing like that, and I've got solar panels, and it seems to be the fact that they've got this wet electrical heating system, which, of course, they were convinced to pay because that would be better for them because they had solar panels, but I don't think so somehow. I think that's probably a very expensive way to do it. Heidi says, I think it's the start of July. Chris, I heard a big caravan company is in danger of going bust too, sadly. Wouldn't surprise me. Is that Willoughby or what? As in new caravans or something? Was last week, can't remember which one, but they own loads of sites all over. And the poor people, well, I don't know if, I would imagine another company would buy them up, but then you don't know what's going to happen to the prices on there, does it? Dreadful. Haven Heights, morning, Park Nest is there. Haven sites are supposed to be reopening on the 2nd of July there. Gosh. Oh, we've got a super chat coming there. Just a moment. Where is that then? There it is. Peter Wright sending a super chat this morning. Thank you, Peter. Let's give him a little jingle there. Thank you, Peter. Let me give you 2 free raffle tickets for your super chat. The super chat prize next week, boys and girls. Just a moment. Let me just write these out for Peter. Peter Wright. For being... He's been here all week this week, Peter, haven't you, darling? There you go, Peter. Sending in various pictures of his cleaning work. 529 and 530 if you're there, Peter. Okay. So that's for the Super Chatter raffle. The next Super Chatter raffle is next Thursday. That's only for the people who do Super Chats and that. We have a special raffle for them. That's the prize this week. We've got one of just 2 lovely grey hooded tops. That's on the front. Just imagine the happy faces that would be created. Just that you could put one of these in and people would just start talking to you automatically. Oh, who's the weird looking bloke? There we go. And one there. Don't walk in London with this though, because they might think you're a statue and take you down. Thank you, Peter. Morning to Christopher Woodhouse. Good morning to you, Christopher. Christopher Woodhouse won the Super Chatter raffle yesterday. Your item is already in the post. Oh, we don't muck around here, dear. We don't muck around here. Your item is already in the post, Christopher Woodhouse. Okay. Andy, we do try and cheer you up, Andy, usually at the expense of me doing something stupid. A couple of free tickets for Andy for next Thursday's Super Chatter raffle. All right, there's our Rachel. Good morning, Rachel. There's our Rachel. I knew she was there somewhere. Oops. There we go. By the way, those, if you didn't see, can you see that there? I'm sorry, I'm just being awkward with me wrist there. Put those in there. By the way, I meant to tell you, we've got, if you didn't know, there are 2 sizes. There's a large and there's an extra large. I have to tell you, the large is big. The large is big. The extra large is absolutely enormous. So if you're one of those ladies and you're very lucky, just like my sister is, just like my niece is, and certainly just like my nephew's wife is, and you're very well look, you know, if you are, you might want the extra large one, which will fit you like a dress. Like a dress. I tell you who's one of the best dressed people on the telly is Fallon Carrington in the Netflix version of Dynasty, which is just hilarious. We were watching, I was with my mate last night and he done us a little bit of dinner. What did we have? Burger, roast potatoes were absolutely delicious. He did roast potatoes, yes, absolutely delicious. These roast potatoes he did. He squeezed an oil. Did he say an oil of garlic or garlic oil or something like that over these roast potatoes? Oh, they were delicious. Those and baked beans and a burger we had last night and a couple of bits of bread, which mucked me up actually because I had the acid when I come back. For the first time in months, I had to have some of my anti-acid medicine yesterday. But yeah, we sat there and watched 2 episodes of Dynasty last night, and it's just hilarious. It's so unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know. Some of the acting is absolutely dreadful. There's one of the blokes at the moment. He's playing. He's supposed to have lost his sight, right? So he's playing a blind man, and he doesn't look blind. I know that sounds a stupid thing. Perhaps one or two of you possibly watching the show today, or listening to the show rather, are blind, but just awful. Just awful. But the girl on there, she's a right cow, Fallon Carrington. The clothes that she wears, I don't know where they find them. Just absolutely stunning she is, and they all fit her perfectly, all bright colours, and she can act. But there's another girl in there, she's like a stick insect. She can't blooming act. I think she's supposed to be Fallon's best friend. I don't know, does anyone watch Dynasty on Netflix? My sister watched it. My sister does binge watching, where she just watched an entire series in like 2 nights or something like that. I can't do that. Two episodes of one thing is the maximum I can watch there. Peter, extra large kite hoodie. Next flight leaves at 10 o'clock, possibly. What are you doing paying bills, Peter? Yeah, Andy needs a dress. Are you a little bit on the large side, Andy? He'd be choosing the extra large one, will you? All righty. Good morning to Amelia Phillips there. There's Amelia. Right, let's have a look. Peter has been on here the whole week. It's unbelievable, really. Fun things to do with tech. Good morning to you. Peter's getting 3 new Amazon items today. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I'm liking the sound of that. What are you getting there? What are you getting? What Amazon items are you getting? I have ordered an Amazon item. Don't laugh. I have, and I threaten to do this, I have ordered a foot spa. Yes. I can't believe I've ordered a foot spa. Let me tell you of my week 20 years ago. End of the 90s. My entire week would be spent looking forward to Saturday night when I went to a club called Trade, which I've mentioned so many times here. And then on a Sunday, either FF or Warriors. I went to Melt for a while, but that was just, the music was just so hard there, I couldn't cope. I used to go, the whole week was spent doing that. And then, you'd lose Monday. You'd lose Monday because you'd just be so tired. That was my weekend. Now my weekend, and it was so exciting. I had a fantastic time. I'd have sometimes say, oh, are you glad you stopped doing that now? No, certainly not. I had the time of my life. If you turn the clock back, would you do it again? Yes, but not when you're sort of over 45. You can't do it. Some old codgers still do it. Some old codgers still, well, they can't at the moment, obviously. They have continued to go out past 40, and they are a complete and utter mess. You have to know when to stop, you see. And that's just how it is now. So that was in the 90s, going out raving the entire weekend. Now, night times, it looks like I'm going to be sitting in front of the telly with my feet in a foot spa. I think my mum had a foot spa. Wouldn't have been as good as the ones we can get now, because this one keeps the water warm at your desired temperature. How lovely is that? I'm so looking forward to that. Do you put a bit of bubble bath in it, or like shower gel or something like that? Or is it just cold, or is it just warm water? I don't know what you put in them. Who's got I bet Rachel's got to have a foot spa. She must have a foot spa. Have you? Where are we now? Let's just scroll down. Good morning, Shania. Morning, Shania. Head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight is with us today, boys and girls. I've been watching hymns on the telly again today. So I was someone playing the Lourdes hymn, you know, Ave Maria. Oh dear, I don't know what notes it was playing. Shania says, I've ordered an Amazon item, some presents for the first Holy Communion children, for when they can make their first Holy Communion. What is it? Have you ordered like one of many things of one item, or just one item? What have you ordered, Shania? Oh, you keeping us in suspense now. Fancy doing something like that, putting a message on there saying you've ordered something for someone and not told us who it was. Is it like a quiz that you're running now, Shania? Are you kind gone into competition with quiz nights? Because apparently mine are too hard. Don't play them then. End of. There's a used foot spa on eBay. No, I don't think so. Oh no, you must be joking, Peter Palawoda. A used foot spa? Who's going to buy that? Someone else's bits of dead skin and bacteria, probably a verruca. That's a great word, isn't it? And you remember being at school, every class had at least one child with a verruca. I love that word, verruca. That's one of my favourite words of all time. That and infestation. There's a good one. There is an infestation of verrucas around the school swimming pool. And then you'd see the kid would be sitting there with a special plaster, wouldn't they? A special, I can't go swimming, I've got a verruca. That was a good excuse. Verruca. I pulled one out of my foot once when I was a child. Seriously. I cut it with I think a knife or something like that. It was so dangerous. And it had roots and I had to pull them out. Honestly, I had a verruca on my foot. Awful things. Rachel's been blocked now. Oh, let them go. There's a lot of that going on Facebook, you know. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, if you don't agree with me, if you don't support this, I will unfriend you. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. Off you go. You won't be missed. Morning to Paul and Lou. Good morning. Morning to the lovely Paul and Lou. Have you missed anything interesting? Yes. Me. Rude. 9:20. Lazy people. Good morning to Marilo. There's Dave Moses. Gallon of fairy liquid in there and you've got yourself a bubble machine. Bubble, bubble, bubble. But that's offensive, Dave. Now, as a member of the radio authority, as controlled by the delightful people at Ofcom, I'm very surprised that you should mention bubble machines when you know you're a radio station that will be playing songs by Whitney Houston. I'm shocked. That is why you're on a community station and not on the BBC, Dave. Fancy mentioning a bubble machine when you will be playing songs by Whitney Houston. Horrified. That is offensive to people that have died in bubble baths. I'm sorry. And she won't be the only one, my love. She won't be the only one. Let's have a look there. What else have we got here? So that's my bubble, but my foot spa arriving tomorrow. Very exciting. Very exciting. Andy, the thought of used foot spa makes me cringe. Oh, me as well. I was telling my mate this last night when we was watching dinner. He said, "Oh, I'll have to try that out." I said, "No, you bleeding won't. You will not be using my foot spa." It's like my sister coming round to the caravan. She runs into the toilet, runs in and slams the door closed, and you can hear it dropping into the water. Oh, God, at least take a radio in with you so we can't hear that noise. Psst. Oh, nasty. Nasty. There you go. Good morning, Martin. Doesn't go on Facebook anymore. So much disinformation passed around. Not missed it at all. No, I would not be on Facebook, Martin, as you well know. If it wasn't for doing this and the work I do, there's no way I'd be on Facebook. Let me go on there now. Let's go on there now and just see. Oh, I've got a little bit more caravan story there for you. Let's have a look. What have we got on Facebook this morning? There we go. Someone said, if you don't support me, unfriend me. Strange world where we allow people to gather in thousands to cheer a statue. Okay. And that's it, basically. Statues at the moment we're going on about. The last year I lost everything. Relationships, house, job time. That's what it's full of. We got a Black Lives Matter activist testing positive for coronavirus. Have we found anything positive yet? No? Shall we carry on? Oh, here's something of interest. This is a bit sad. This is the sort of thing I'm into. Yeah. BBC One announcer Tim Nichols, 15th of October, 1988, YouTube thing. That, you know, the bits in between the programmes where they bring the globe on and there's an announcer. People put that on YouTube. Now, that is of interest to me. The voice, dear. The voice of those old BBC announcers. Tim Nichols. Shall we have a listen? I think we can probably get away with this. Let's have a listen to the announcer. Proper announcers. Hang on a minute. Let's get to the globe bit. Where is it now? Here we go.
Sunday on One.
Here we go.
There's international snooker starting in 5 minutes on BBC Two with highlights of the day's play and the Grand Prix from the Hexagon.
Listen to that voice. Proper announcer.
David Vine. And putting some daredevil excitement into the late film on BBC One now are Harry Hamlin, Joseph Bottoms and Dennis Hopper, sharing the rock and roll thrills of life in the Los Angeles fast lane to become King of the Mountain.
Oh, listen to that voice. That is a proper announcer, dear. I wanted to do that job. What proper announcer? I hope Dave Moses, you will look at. That's how you talk. None of this flimsy stuff going on there, dear. Anyway, so we've had a look at Facebook. The first 5 messages on there, all depressing. There's no way I'd be on that thing if it wasn't for doing this. No way I'd be on there. Oh, good morning to Mix Mowers. Good morning to you. Hello to you, sir. Who else doesn't go on there? Bibles. Oh, she's ordered Bibles. Excellent, Shania. I suppose there must be people who've got the Bible now on their iPads and phones and people like that, really, wouldn't they? I suppose. Yeah, I would imagine so. What else have we got here? Mandy says they're now talking about taking some children's programmes off. Oh, I'm sure they will. There'd be nothing left on the telly, Mandy. There'd be nothing left. You'll all. I'll have to do several shows a day just to keep you entertained. Never mind. I don't know where we're all going to go next. A new thing for your show, looking through Facebook. Oh, you must be joking. There's nothing more depressing than looking at Facebook now and again. Do you remember when it first started? Everyone was very nice to each other. No one really moaned. There are people on Facebook, they have rows with their exes in front of the entire world to see. Why would you air your dirty washing in public like that? It's unbelievable. There's 1 or 2 of you on here who do that, who may or may not be in the chat box this morning. I've seen you doing it. It makes you look very, very foolish having a row with someone on Facebook. Do it in private. We're not interested. We're really not interested. Peter Palawoda says, the wifey says, I'm a statue at cleaning time. You lazy thing you are. Oh, Parkness, the late, great Richard Baker was another. Oh, God, we've got to play a bit of Richard Baker, haven't we? I don't know how we've gone down this route today. Hang on. How can I get that up? Let's try that one. Richard Baker. Oh, yeah. He's gone as well. Of course, he used to do the stuff on the Royal Albert Hall. Didn't he do Last Night at the Proms as well, Richard Baker? I think he did Last Night at the Proms a few times as well, didn't he? But what a voice. BBC. Richard Baker's Final Bulletin. 1982 was the last time he was on. 1982 was the last time you heard Richard Baker reading the news. Unbelievable. Let's listen.
Among them 2 children aged 2 and 4. North of Bulawayo, gunmen kidnapped a white farmer in his 70s and his grandson. The kidnappers say they're supporters of the opposition leader Joshua and...
Proper sound. Mind you, actually, the BBC newsreaders are pretty good, aren't they? Especially Nana... Well, she's not really a newsreader, is he? Naga. Well, maybe she is a Nana. She's 45. As in Nana. Nana. That's more like it. Nana. Maybe she is a Nana at 45. I don't know. She might be a young Nan, might she? Naga Monchetti. Yeah, she's not really a newsreader, is she? She's sort of that more of a presenter. But one of my favourite newsreaders was Moira. Moira Stewart? Moira Stewart, I think she was. She was. Oh, she was fab. Her and Angela Rippon, 2 of my favourite newsreaders there. Okay, we're chatting away there. Good morning to Maureen. Yes, indeed. Put some Radox in your foot spas, says Maureen. Good idea. I'll get a little bit of Radox to put it in there. Dave Moses has informed the council and is going to have his statue removed now for being offensive. You could have a little bubble bath around the statue and make your point, really, couldn't you, really? Oh dear, Heidi agrees. All these people, they row on the Facebook. It's terrible. It's terrible. It really is terrible. Right, let's do some of these stories then today. While I was round my mate's house last night, he had to take one of his cats to be shaved. He's got 5 cats altogether. 2 of them are ginger ones, and one of the ginger ones is not quite there. That's the one that had the brain operation now. Last year it was. Over a year ago now, actually, which they spent an absolute fortune on this poor cat. But it survived and it carries on, although it's not quite there a lot of the time. It hisses and growls a lot, but it doesn't attack. We think it might be just trying to talk rather than be angry all the time. But he had to take it to the vets yesterday to have some of the fur shaved. It had become very matted because he really doesn't like being brushed. So he took it down to the vets to have it shaved. And I went to see it last night. Looks like its body is shaved, but its head isn't. It's the funniest thing. But it hasn't been finished off. I said, why isn't it finished off? He said he was just going mad. This cat was going mad, so they had to stop in the end. But apparently they've got some sort of special harness which holds the cat in a certain way so that it can't attack. So he's going to have to go back at some point and have that done. 90 quid? No, I think they did something else as well while they were there. 90 quid to have your cat shaved. Dear me. It did look funny though. Poor little cat. Bleeping cold now, isn't it? It's got no fur. Isn't that fur's a funny thing, isn't it? Fur's a funny thing because over the years I've had cats and one the same thing happened to mine. Its fur became so matted that I had to take her in, bless her. I think that was Tiny, the long-haired one, and to have a bit of it shaved off. And when it grows back, right? So you got the fur that's already there and the fur that's growing back, but it doesn't grow any longer or shorter than the fur that's actually already there. Do you know what I mean? It's not like if I was to cut a bit out of my head, you'd soon notice, wouldn't you, that bit's been cut, right? But with cats, I mean, you leave it until it grows back and it grows to the same length as the fur that's already there. Isn't that strange and mysterious? Very, very strange and mysterious. Pot noodles, here's a question for you, gang. Pot noodles in the Super's Soaraway Daily Mirror today. BBC Radio 1 presenter Greg James. Are they still on air? Has not someone been offended by that? None of the swearing in some of those songs now, and the rapping songs. Swearing? No one offended by that? Oh no, we're allowed to do that because that's cultural, apparently. BBC Radio 1 presenter Greg James launched a fiery debate among fast food fans after asking an extremely touchy question. Can we not have touching going on today, please, while I'm doing my show? It has been heard. People have been touching while they're watching this show, you know. Anyway, Greg James, he asked listeners what utensil they use to eat a pot noodle. Now, how do you do yours? Do you eat pot noodles? I have 3 a year, if that. I quite like them. You can have them too much. 3 a year maximum. Would you class that as junk food, pot noodles? Don't know, really. It amazes me. You get these chicken noodles and beef pot noodles, and there's no beef or chicken in them at all. Suitable for vegetarians. There you go, Martin. Pot noodle for lunch. Martin's a vegetarian now. January, February, March, April, but 6 months now. And that was just a little trial. He decided in January for health reasons, I think. That's the Retro Restore. He does his very successful channel. Millions of viewers. You know, what we got today? 10, if we're lucky. 10. Millions of views on his channel. And he thought he'd try it out in January and has continued. Some of his favourite things are Linda McCartney's sausages. Absolutely delicious. Oh, yes, please. Anyway, in the Daily Mirror, Greg James asked listeners what utensil they use to eat a pot noodle. Is it a spoon or a fork? And although it seems trivial, it sparked utter outrage. Now, I don't know, I just assumed that everyone ate pot noodle with a fork. Apparently not. A few explained that a fork makes it easier to get hold of the noodles. Others use a spoon so they can pick up some of the soupy liquid at the bottom. And a couple of people use chopsticks to eat pot noodles. It says it's not just Radio 1 listeners who have strong views on the subject. People on Twitter are divided too. How do you eat do you eat pot noodles? How many do you eat and how do you eat them? There's my question. A number of people claim that the forks are the best utensil to use, with one saying, how the hell are you going to eat noodles with a spoon? And I have to say I agree with that. Another added fork and then use the pot as a cup to drink the liquid, which is what I do. A third said, if you're eating pot noodle with a spoon, get out of this country. I'd rather go through another 3 weeks of lockdown than sit there on FaceTime watching my dad eat a pot noodle with a spoon again. Is it a dad thing? And another comments, mate eats a pot noodle with a spoon. How wrong is that? But apparently eating your noodles with a spoon is much easier, it says here. One person said, unpopular opinion, but eating a pot noodle with a spoon is way easier than a fork. So that's in the Daily Mirror this morning. I eat mine on a as I say, with a fork. I also put in a little sachet of soy sauce. Whether or not that actually makes any difference to the flavour of the thing, because it's such a tiny little thing, isn't it? I don't know, but I do put that one in there. Mandy was a nan at 38. How lovely. Oh, that's nice. Being a nan at 38. I enjoy being a great uncle. Well, an uncle and a great uncle. I do enjoy that. Michael Lawrence says 5 cats equal 1 big vet bills. You're absolutely right, Michael. It's all right where they're young, but when little things start going wrong, as is the case with us as well, isn't it, really? Excellent. Shania's got the bishop joining her for the rosary in a week's time. Would that be on the Zoom, will it, Shania? On the Zoom. Morning, Fran Green. There you go. Retro Restore. Martin has lost 3 stone on the vegetarian thing he's on. Not a diet, a lifestyle change. Completely different things. Diets, I don't think diets generally don't work because you've got to stick to them. When I was going to the Slimming World, you get these old bags come in there, darling, like myself. This old bag used to go in there and I stuck to it and people would lose weight, and then they'd come off it. And then you'd see them back there in 3 months. Oh, it doesn't work, does it? And we're like, what? Well, the Slimming World doesn't work. Well, you stopped doing it. That's why. I mean, how thick can you be? What do you think's going to happen? So you're doing this Slimming World all the time, and you get to your level, and then they start going out and doing all the things that they used to do, exactly as I'm doing at the moment. And then you put the weight back on. Got to change what you eat, and that is a permanent thing. Very difficult. Very difficult. Although, there's no way I eat as many crisps and sweets and chocolate as I used to. No way. I have a little bit here and there. You know, I'll have a small bag of crisps, you know, out of a multi-pack, like a Snack Right from Aldi or Snacklicious, I think it is from Lidl. I'll have a small one of those, usually straight after the show before I go for my mega walk. 3 stone there. Wow, that's all right, isn't it? Amelia's pescatarian. I think she doesn't eat dead animals, Amelia, except fish. Would I be right there? Yeah, I don't eat those either. They've still got little eyes and little faces, Amelia. Oh, poor little fishy. You can have a little fishy on your dishy. You can have a fishy when the boat comes in. Dance to your daddy, sing to your mummy, dance to your daddy when the boat comes in. Is that offensive to anyone? Oh, wow. Is that offensive? Is there a statue anywhere to be pulled down of a fish? God knows what's going to happen at the weekend. That's very, very... I'm so glad I'm not in London. My heart goes out to you if you're in London. Stay in the house and lock the doors, dear. Mad people are about. Jason, soak up the remains of your pot noodle with a piece of bread. Yes, Jason. Oh, bread-infected pot noodle or pot noodle-infected bread. That sounds lovely to me. Very, very nice indeed. Andy, my partner eats her pot noodle with a slice of bread. Yep, that's the same sort of thing as I do there. That's the same thing I do. Can we have some thumbs up this morning? I don't think I haven't got any photos to show you that anyone's sent in. If you've got anything to send in, then it's like that, please, all right? The thumbs up it's not like a thumbs up on the keyboard. It's a thumbs up underneath the YouTube thing. There's an up and a down. If you can hit the up, that helps the YouTube algorithms there, all right? Morning to Dan. Tried a 5-2 diet, Chris. Works wonders. Or is that, do you mean 52? So you don't eat for 52 weeks of the year. Sod that, mate. Don't think I'll be doing the 5-2 diet. I think that's for 5 days you eat what you want, and for 2 days hardly anything. Is that right, Dan? Something like that. Doesn't that what's his name do that on the telly? The morning bloke, Pip Schofield. I think he does that, something like that, doesn't he? Pip Schofield there. Good morning, Mr. Sprinter Van. Hello to you. John was an uncle at 9 years old and a great uncle at 28. Blimey, that's earlier than me. When did I become uncle? I can't remember now. My niece is something like 32 or 33 now, I think. Untrue. My nephew's 35, I think he is, my nephew, the older nephew. And of course, they got their own children now, you know, which is just great. Got a couple of pictures, actually, of them here. Where are we? Let's have a look. I've shown you the first one. There you go. That's Gary's family. Great niece Evie at the back there. She's 8. Harry on the right there, looking completely disinterested. He's getting a bit lippy now, Harry. He keeps every time I have a FaceTime and he appears on the camera and he says, I'm going to punch you. I don't know why. What have I done so wrong? That's Harry on the right, and just in the front there is young Olivia, who is 5. I think Olivia's 5. So that's my nephew's family. Okay? Great to get the advertising in there as well, isn't it, really? And my niece's family in Cyprus. There we go. That's George. He's 8. Again, he's getting a bit lippy. He's on the left. Emily's in the middle there. Right? She's just on a completely another planet altogether. And that's James on the right there. Okay? And they look very happy in the sunshine. She was saying it was really hot there yesterday. Oh, I like to see them. It was really hot there yesterday, and she was in the kitchen, and she can never get away from the children. I said, well, lock yourself in the toilet for 10 minutes. She said, no, they bang on the door until I come out again. Oh, dear. Excuse me. Oh, there's my sister. Good morning to Shazby. Sharon is in the house today. Good morning to you. Picture of the Statue of Liberty. I don't think I've seen that, Rachel, to be honest. All right, John Aitken has not had a pot noodle in years. They are full of salt. Well, they are. Like crisps and things like that. Absolutely loaded with salt. Mandy became a sister for the first time at the age of 28. That's late, isn't it? Don't mention the war, Paul and Lou. Don't mention the war. We'll be taken off. Ow, it's really offensive. Go do one. Go away. Stop moaning. Oh, no. All these people have got nothing to do. That's what it is. There's a very interesting bloke on the telly, on the radio last night. You may know the name, actually. He's often on talking about money type things. Not Martin. His name, he does, it's more corporate money and shares and things like that. Now, I don't really have any, I have a few free ones that I got from the bank and things. I'm not like a share person. I don't know loads of stuff like that. But nevertheless, what he often says is quite interesting. Justin Urquhart Stewart, I think his name is. Justin Urquhart Stewart, and he always talks about money. And he was saying that we are in terrible situation with money and that. However, he thought the government handled the whole thing very well. You know, and he is someone that you would listen to. You know, he often says, oh, this isn't looking good, or that is looking good. And, well, you know, Justin Urquhart Stewart. So it was very interesting hearing what he had to say on the telly, on the radio. Heidi's lost about 1.5 stone since the virus. No diet, just healthy eating and lifestyle changed. Well done, girl. Well done. Well done, lady. Good morning to LaBelle. Your emerald-eyed bird of freedom and magic is here in the house this morning. Good morning, lovely LaBelle. Right, there's Mick Davenport. Good morning, Mick. Mick Davenport there as well. Right, where's our stories then? I mean, how thick can you be? Don't go to a safari park and do something like this. God's sake. In the Daily Mirror, a tourist on safari in Tanzania. Tanzania? Is that Australian, Tanzania? I don't know. Leaned out of a window to stroke a lion. Oh, for God's sake. Why would you do something like that? And you see that. You can almost understand a child trying to do that, can't you? And hopefully an adult would notice and grab them back quickly. But an adult, a tourist on safari, had an incredible lucky escape after deciding to lean out of a vehicle to stroke a wild lion. Mind you, my mate's cat looked like a lion. Yes, he had the fur all here and then no fur. The short clip was filmed on a tour of the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania, where visitors must not have believed their luck when the van was able to get within inches of a lion. 2 lions. With the big cats seemingly happy to mind their own business as people inside the vehicle capture the moments on camera. Footage shows one man sitting within touching distance of the lions with the window wide open. The temptation proves too much for one fellow passenger, who then leans across him to reach out of the window and stroke the lion's back. At first, the male lion doesn't seem to react as the man sitting closest pulls out his camera for another snap. But the mood quickly changes as the lion slowly turns its head to growl. I think I'm going to have to do that. Was you scared then? Sorry if there's any children watching. Don't be scared. Uncle Chris here. Happy person. Happy person. Not dangerous like a lion. Don't stroke lions. Panicked voices can be heard telling him to close the window as he nervously reaches to slide it back across. Before he can, the intimidating lion roars angrily into the vehicle. Rah! As he abandons his attempts and the camera ducks down behind one of the seats. What an idiot. You see, that lion's not looking at us. Oh, there's some humans come to look at us. They see you as food. It's like when some of you walk into a shop. You know when you see that bag of crisps, that bag of cheese and onion crisps, or that bar of Galaxy or Cadbury's Dairy Milk Chocolate sitting there. Do you look at it and thinking, oh, that could be a friend? No, you look at it and say, I want to eat that. Well, that's how the lion looks at you. It doesn't see you as a friend. It sees you as something to eat. The lion is then shown to be on its feet, staring at the tourists as the man scrambles to shut the flimsy window for protection. Awful. It was shared on YouTube by Maasai Sightings with the title, Still the Dumbest Tourist Ever. What an idiot. And the description reads, a tourist in Serengeti decided to touch a male lion and also got her face ripped off. This is a very dumb thing to do, and you can easily get yourself killed or banned from a national park from doing this. I mean, I don't like to even, you drive through, not Windsor Safari Park, that's gone now. What's the other one now? There's another safari park. Just a minute. Safari Park, UK. I'll find it in a minute. What's the other one we've been to? Not much. Whipsnade. Been to Whipsnade. I think that's up the M1 somewhere, is it? Let me see. It's in... There's a map there. And Woburn. Woburn Safari Park. I've been with that one. Temporarily closed. Hope they can make their money all right. Is that sort of up the A1M? Oh, it is. There it is. There it is. Woburn, sort of Luton-y, Northampton way. That's what that is. Yeah, I've been there. And I don't... And the blooming monkeys start jumping on your car and ripping bits off, don't they? When you jump through those. And sometimes you see the lion going towards the cars. Oh, my God, what's going to happen now? I mean, how safe are you in a car? That's the question. It's bad enough sitting at traffic lights and being carjacked. I lock all the windows, dear, when I'm driving through certain areas of London. Frightening, really. Anyway, I mean, you've got to be stupid. People were left dumbstruck by the clip. It said, with one writing, somebody has the brain the size of a flea sitting between their ears. Don't they? Oh, is something being delivered? Let's have a look. Could it be? Maybe my foot spa is coming a day early. How exciting would that be? I could test it out. You will, of course, get a video of me trying my foot spa out. Don't worry about that, my loves. Oh, nothing there. I think it must have been a cat walking across. We have a cat. Oh, there was a cat walking on my fence the other day, blooming cheek. How do they do that? It's only narrow. Narrow fence I've got there. There's cats walking along it. Dear. So please don't go out and try and touch lawns as you're driving through one of those places. Amelia, Wobone Safari Park is near me. Oh, Amelia, does it have a little train going around it? Am I thinking of the wrong place? You know, like a little model train that you can go around. I like going on those. My mate, he's a lord. He's got like a mansion with massive grounds and that. He is having one of those built in his garden. And he said, when it's finished, I can go and have a go on it. Can't wait. Can't wait. Good morning to John Springate. Good morning, John. John is a very famous person. You would have seen him on Top of the Pops. Da 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 da. That's the music they used to play when the numbers were going round at the back, you know, number 40, number 39, number 38, all the way up to number 1. This week is ABBA, Take a Chance on Me. If you change your mind, take a chance on the first change line. Take a chance on the up tower free. Take a chance on me. Take a chance, that one. Did you do any videos like that? Morning to you, John. John Springate. Spain? Are you in Spain, John? I can't remember now. Rachel used to love sitting on the miniature railway. Me too. I love a little miniature railway. Good morning to AMS Clark. You're a bit late today, mate. We've been here an hour. Have you just got up? Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. I know. Foot spa, John. Sad. How sad is that? John, I've got your old idents here somewhere. Would you want to hear some of John's work? Let's pull those up. I'm not sure actually. I think you might be with us at an earlier part of the show by the looks of your messages there. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can find this. Freedom. Where are we now? Hang on a minute. Sorry, let's try that again. I used to do a show on a radio station, Freedom Radio. It was only on for, it was an RSL, which is a temporary radio station, okay? And I did a show on there. And I knew John, and I knew he did music. So I asked him to make me some jingles, and indeed he did. Here's a little bit of his work here. 1 second.
Chris Ridden on Freedom Radio.
There's loads of them. He did. How many did he do? I got 3 here, I think. Here's another one.
Nighttime with Chris Ridden on Freedom Radio. Welcome home.
One more. Here we goes.
Chris Ridden on Freedom Radio. Astra 50. Chris Ridden on Freedom Radio. Astra 50. Chris Ridden on Freedom Radio.
John, they were so camped here, which was completely unlike my show. It was a proper booked show that I used to do, John. Thank you very much. How wonderful to hear those again. My Freedom Radio jingles. It'll be onto the copyright people now, John. Quit that Chris Reardon, he just played my jingles and he hasn't sent me any money. Thank you so much, John. I've always appreciated those. Lovely to see you on here this morning, I must say. John met you at the Penny Farthing in Hammersmith and bought his medley single because after he'd left sort of the main, how would you say, like the pop chart type thing, you know, the Top of the Pops and all that, he then went out to do his own cabaret thing. And I worked with him a few times in various bars and clubs. I think the Penny Farthing. I know I did a Black Cat with you. Maybe not the Two Brewers, but yeah, lovely chap. Thank you, John. Nice to see you on here. Shania, she loves those jingles as well. Terry H loves them. Look, they love the jingles here. See? Got them all here. Don't worry about that. I've got them all here. Let's just scroll up a little bit there. Peter, on the subject of safaris, I went on safari in the Gambia, saw a massive flock of vultures. Why are they there? That's the local slaughterhouse. Oh, no, really? Little animals being killed there. How awful. Dreadful. All right, John Parrish, it's not the war they are complaining about, Chris. Apparently the Major said the N-word in that episode. Well, why can't they just edit that bit out then? It's only one word, just edit that bit out. It's not hard. Nope, they'd rather pull the whole thing, would they? God's sake. Let them get on with it. I'm sick of it. Money Box, there you go. Mike Responto, we're talking about Justin Urquhart Stewart. He's on Money Box a lot in Radio 4 on Saturday. He's very, very interesting, Justin Urquhart Stewart. Anything you want to know about money at all, he's got the answer. Very, very impressive man, and he's of an age, so he's been doing it for years. He'll tell you what shares to buy. He just knows everything. I always enjoy listening to him. And there are certain experts, I think, that we've had on radio and television over the years. He's the money one that I would happily say, you know, I've got like 10 grand to invest. Where can I put it? He would say, right, put it here. I would put it in there. I wouldn't even question it. And another bloke on holiday. There's a holiday bloke. I'm just trying to remember his name now. It was on the tip of my... I had it in my head just before I started going off on one then. He's a thin bloke with glasses, slightly sucked in cheeks because of his age. Very, very knowledgeable on holiday stuff. Really good. He has his own show on LBC some time ago now. I think it was on a Sunday afternoon, actually. Holiday expert... LBC. Let's try that. Not Martin. It's not Martin Lewis. Not financial expert. No. Holiday. Who's Simon Calder? Thank you. So he's got his own website, simoncalder.co.uk. He's a holiday expert, and again, absolutely anything you want to know about holidays. And you listen to him, and people would call him in on his LBC show, and they took it off. And it's not like it was short of calls. You know, he'd have call after call coming in, all different questions. You know, hello, you know, I'm a single mum. I've got very little to spend, but we'd like to go aboard. Can you advise me? And he would come out. He wouldn't have to look anything up. It'd all be in his head. Amazing. And he'd just say, well, yeah, if you can go on to get yourself an EasyJet, you can get yourself off to Spain. There's some very good deals with Spain and this, that and the other. And he'd know all about the holiday money, who was doing good things with the holiday money and all that. And then you'd have the next one ring up and say, oh, hello, I'm a businessman. I've got £25,000 to spend on a holiday. We want something really special. We want the best holiday ever. Where can you suggest we go? And he'd answer that as well. And everything in between. It's nice to see experts like that on the telly knowing what they're talking about. Not someone on there pretending that they know in what they're talking about by reading some auto cue in front of them. They're obvious to me, these people. These people are obvious to me when they start going on about something they know absolutely nothing about. I would never do that. If I was talking about, look, like some of these stories today, I don't know anything about wild animals, except I do know that you shouldn't put your hand out the window and try and stroke one. The same could be said through going through various areas of various cities in the UK. Close your windows and lock the doors, dear. Something out there is waiting to eat you. Ha 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 ha. The thin bloke with the glasses. Are you a thin bloke with glasses as well? Simon Calder's the one, the travel bloke. Very, very, very intelligent man. Knows all about the travel. As I say, you've got Justin Urquhart Stewart with the money. There was a medicine one as well, like a doctor's type thing. And they got rid of all of those on LBC, as far as I know. Or at least if they've put them back on, I haven't noticed them. But I don't really listen to it anymore. It all became so serious. All these shows were replaced with people talking about being politics and serious stuff all the time. All the sort of niceness went, whether BBC local. I listen to very, very little radio at the moment, certainly as I'm not in the car. Really. And now I find that Talk Radio are getting rid of their overnight show and they're joining up with Talk Sport to save money. Really. There's some changes going on at Talk Radio now. They've already got rid of the bloke at night, Ian Lee. He's just lost his job. I think there's some other changes going on there. And I believe a lot of it's to save money. You see, the thing is, talk radio and even more so, sports radio is really, really expensive to run because you have to have experts in. Yeah, you can't get someone off the street, like some of these people on the independent local radio stations. You know, they're as thick as planks, most of them. Not most of them, but some of them are, and it's obvious the ones they are. And they come on and they give them some sports news to talk about. It'd be like giving me sports news to talk about. I ain't got a clue. I can read it off a screen or a piece of paper, yeah, but I wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. When it comes to sports radio or talk radio like LBC, you've got to have someone on there who knows what they're talking about. You can't drift them, someone who's been to radio school and has been told, you know, the time, the next 5 records. That's all they have to do. When in fact, that's all they're wanted to do. There's no comedy really anymore on radio, is there? Huh? None at all. So it's nice to hear when those experts are brought on. But they used to have their own whole shows. They'd be on for like 2 or 3 hours. Now they're lucky to get 2 minutes on breakfast time or something like that. And they only tend to pull them out if there's something going on. For example, an airline has gone bust and people can't get their money back. Here's Simon Calder. What should they do? So they ask him. He gives them the answer. Thank you very much, Simon. And he's gone 2 minutes later. I'd like to see these people, perhaps with maybe some of them have got their own YouTube shows. You know, there's a thing there for Simon Calder. Perhaps I could. I sent him a message a couple of times now, and he's replied to me very kindly. You know, they could have their own YouTube shows. I'm sure they'd get people watching that. I would rather watch that than see about more riots going on in London, wouldn't you? Let's have a look there. Where'd you go for your computer repairs, Chris? The bloke off LBC? No. Oh, what's his name now? He's just useless. I can't remember his name now. It's a foreign-sounding name. And he comes up... You can hear people asking questions. And I'm not a computer expert at all. Sometimes he gets it right. And sometimes, I kid you not, he's blagging it. You're thinking, you don't know what you're talking about, mate. There has been other technical people. There's one bloke. The Gadget... No, hang on a minute. What's his name now? Hang on. Gadget Man LBC. I don't think he's on LBC. Science and Technology. Lizzie Ratcliffe. Oh, I don't know her. From the Royal Society of Chemistry. I don't know. Jimmy Carr. No, that's not it. The Mystery Hour with the miserable James O'Brien. What an unfortunate looking person that is. He always looks like he's got a face like he's just chewed 7 wasps, isn't he? What a miserable git he is. Gadgets. I don't know who it is now. It's not Will Guyot. That's the one. Will Guyot. He's very good, Will Guyot. And I think he's on Talk Radio. He's on Ian. He used to be talking a lot to Ian Collins on Talk. He was very good. That's your Gadget Man, Will Guyot. If he says buy something, go and buy it, you know. Oh, let's have a look. Peter, what things has Peter got there? I can't find it. Oh, he's getting an Echo 5, an Alexa wall clock. Oh, I've seen those. And Wi-Fi webcam. 3 items he's getting today. How exciting! Do they do a Wi-Fi webcam? Amazon. Oh, do they? How much are they then? Do I need any more cameras? I do like cameras. Hang on. How much are they? Because I've got a couple of Ring ones, but they're a bit expensive. £34, £21. Oh, that must be an internal one, is it? Yeah, inside one. £29. Night vision, 2-way audio, Fleeca, UK support single pack. £29. I mean, these cameras are getting cheaper and cheaper, aren't they? There's the Ring one that I've got, £49. You see, that's the indoor. The outdoor one, that's £89 now. Now, I got that on a special offer for £49 around Christmas. That's the Ring one. Oh, Tapo, they do them as well. Tapo ones. Okay. I think we could have a few more cameras up around the place, couldn't we? Watching everything that's going on. Well, I hope you enjoy your gadgets. You must send pictures of your gadgets and the position of them, especially the clock. We want to look at your Amazon clock. See what that's... Yeah, I know that is, Paul. I just didn't want to say the name. Useless. Absolutely useless he is. I don't know how he's got away with it all these years, but there we are. Heidi works on BBC Radio. It's not like it was. I was on Radio Devon back in the early 2000s. So interesting and fun. I bet you do, Heidi. Yeah, I'm in contact with bloke at BBC Radio Lincolnshire a lot, William. He did the afternoon show, but at the moment I don't think he's doing it at the moment because they changed their schedule when the virus thing came in. They changed all the schedule around, but I'm in contact with him now since I went up to see it. It's become kind of a friend. Yeah, he's a nice chap. He is a really nice chap. Internal cameras, endoscopy. I've had one of those. Amelia's going off for a shower. See you, darling. Bye-bye, Amelia, my love. Bye-bye. Okay, let's do some of these stories then. That's wrong. Have you ever been struck by lightning? Very dangerous. A friend of mine says, if you ever get struck by lightning, then he has decided it was your time, so don't worry about it. He's decided it's your time today, sunshine. And he throws this piece of light at you, doesn't he, from up there. Bang. Bye-bye. Sharon Stone, who's 62. This is in the Daily Mail today. It says she's set to release her memoir, The Beauty of Living Twice, later this year. Sharon Stone gave fans a sneak peek of her incredible unknown stories she has to tell as she revealed she was once struck by lightning. Gosh. She's 62. Basic Instincts made the shocking reveal when joining Brett Goldstein on the Films to Be Buried With podcast released on Thursday. So that's, is that next Thursday or yesterday? I'm not sure. Stone says she was merely filling an iron with water when lightning struck. She said it's really intense. I expect it is. She was at home. We had our own well. The mother of 3 explained, I was filling the iron with water and I had one hand on the faucet and one hand on the iron and the well got hit with lightning and the lightning came up through the water. The power of the surge threw the actress across the kitchen because they say you shouldn't touch any metal things in the house, shouldn't they? I believe when there's lightning around, you're supposed to unplug the telly as well, aren't you? You're supposed to unplug the aerial from the telly or something like that. I can't remember now. I got picked up and thrown across the kitchen. I got picked up, thrown across the kitchen, and I hit the refrigerator, Stone records. It was like, whoa! Explaining the aftermath of the incident, though, she did not disclose when it took place. She went on to say that she was unconscious until her mum jumped into action. My mother was standing there, she said, and my mother just belted me across the face and brought me to. Lucky she was there, whacked her across the face. I was in such an altered state, just so. I don't know how to describe it. So bright, like wow. She said, adding her mother, Dorothy, took her to be looked at by a doctor immediately. She threw me in the car and drove me to the hospital, and the EKG heart thing was showing much electricity in my body. though it just wasn't one trip to the hospital after the incident. She had to be monitored for a week and a half. She said, I had to go and get an EKG every single day for 10 days. It wasn't the only near-death experience she's experienced, but we'll leave it on there. But being struck by lightning, in one way, I find that a fascinating, exciting thing, perhaps, to happen, although it could kill you. Is that is that a bad way to go? Is that instant? You know, because you see some of these poor souls, and I'm sure you've seen it. You know, who suffer with not being able to breathe for months, and perhaps some people in comas and stuff like that. You know, you want an instant thing, don't you? Really, and 1 minute you're here, bang, you're gone. You don't want a long drawn out, like some of these people with that coronavirus, you know, awful in hospital. Especially when you say the worst pictures, I think, were the ones that come out of the Italian hospitals. Shocking. Something like a lightning strike, you know. Do many people survive from those? Well, she obviously did, didn't she? Sometimes there's been a couple of trees round here because we have the tall pine trees that have been struck by lightning, and you see a black line going down the tree, and then you come and chop it down because I think it kills it instantly. Don't stand under a tree in a storm. Yeah, they say that, Peter. The best way, if there's a storm, I think our science teacher possibly told us you're supposed to curl up in a ball like that. And if the lightning hits you, it doesn't go through your heart or something. But I mean, when do you curl up in that ball? Because, of course, by the time you see the lightning coming, it's too late. You know, do you see a bit of lightning and then you curl up in a ball on the floor and wait till the rain stops? You could be down there for hours. You could be on your hands and knees for hours. Be like being in chariots. There's no metal in Gary's house. He's weighed it all in. Gary said they got no heating in my nephew's house anymore. He sold it all to the scrap people, hasn't he? Dear me. Rachel, in a big storm, I will take the aerial out the back of the TV. There you go. Is it high voltage but relatively low current? I don't know how it works, really. Lightning hit a pylon half a mile from me fishing at Rickmansworth. Deafening sound, I expect it is. Real big bangs they do, don't they? And Parkness lightning is a big static discharge. It's frightening, though. I remember going to Florida a few times. I've been to Florida. And if you go in June, that's where they have the massive lightning storms in the sky. Amazing. I mean, amazing and terrifying at the same time. It's not like over here, you know, one lightning flash, that's it. 10 minutes later, another one. You go to Florida, and it's almost like the lightning is talking to each other, like it's alive. It's like literally, like as you watch it, like all different parts, and sometimes the little things join up, like that. Lightning, scary. What did I forgot here now? Let's have a look. Move over Mars. Insects, boys and girls. Insect robots. We've heard of these, and there's possibly some of them around now. There might be an insect robot watching you now. A team of engineers at California State University are developing swarms of tiny insect-type robots that could help make exploring other planets safer and more efficient. This is great. The long-term goal is to create an autonomous swarms of small robots, you know, small like that, small robots that can move across the surface of other planets to collect samples and complete tasks that might otherwise be too complicated for like the Mars rover. It's a great big blooming robot in it that carefully goes across and sometimes goes wrong. Or too risky for a human astronaut. It says we were inspired by the behaviours that we see in swarms of ants and bees that self-organise, create clever solutions for different tasks, work in groups of different sizes, and have the ability to complete tasks even when their members fail. So you see, that's the idea of that. You could send, I don't know, whatever, 50, 200, 1,000 little insect-type robots, right? So they burst out of some sort of device. If they don't all work after that, not a problem, because most of them will. Some of them will fail. Whereas if you just send a large Mars rover, they don't send two, do they? They send one. And when it goes wrong, when it gets mucked up, that's it. End of Mars rover. Do you remember that one they sent? Was it to Mars? I can't. It dropped out of the sky and then it disappeared. And never found again. Or it might have been Venus. I can't remember now. And cost a lot of money. If you sent loads of them, like sending an army in, and an army of people, some will get killed, others will survive and do the job. Be a good idea. He said if the project's successful, he believes it could fundamentally change the way space exploration is conducted. I think it's an excellent idea. But I wonder, are these things around at the moment? I'm sure they are here on Earth now. No, the scientists have got little insects flying around. Next time you see a fly, perhaps you're in bed, maybe with someone else, watching one of those nasty films on your little video thing, touching. And then you spot a fly. Is it a fly or is it a little robot? Someone might be watching you. Somebody's watching me. Insects are watching you as we speak, dear. Ever had a wasp that refuses to die with one of those death bats? Perhaps it's not a wasp at all. It might be a robot watching you. Very, very scary. Peter says mini robots, nanotechnology, big companies spending a fortune on it. I'm sure they are. Mike Reese has been watching AJ and the Queen on Netflix. Great programme. I've seen them all. Here's the sad news, I'm afraid. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen in the programme. It's really good, that Netflix, AJ and the Queen, starring, what's her name? The RuPaul there. Starring RuPaul, and the one playing the little girl, she's great acting in that. Sadly, only one series. It didn't get renewed, that one, which was a shame, really. Great shame. Dead body. Sat on train. How long would it take you to spot a dead body? In the sun this morning, a dead body sat on a train for 5 hours. And no one noticed. How awful. What if it had got hungry? Who noticed it anyway? Staff failed to spot the corpse as they cannot interact with passengers amid the virus fears. Good God, that 60-year-old had a heart attack shortly after boarding a cross-country service from Manchester Piccadilly. He was due to get off 8 minutes later at Stockport, but his body was not found until the final stop in Bournemouth, 250 miles away. A cleaner made the grisly discovery at the town's central train depot on Saturday. A source said due to the virus outbreak, conductors have been ordered not to interact with passengers. They are not walking through carriages, checking tickets and making sure everyone is okay as they usually do. Their only task is to dispatch the trains safely. They spend the rest of their journey at the rear in their office. This poor fellow died on the train 5 hours before being found, which is heartbreaking in a civilised society. The death got reported to the British Transport Police. Apparently it's the second incident. An elderly woman with dementia travelling from Birmingham to Exeter, 2.5 hour journey, missed her stop. She ended up an hour away in Plymouth in a distressed state at 1 o'clock in the morning. Paramedics were called and she spent the night in hospital before being escorted home. Isn't that terrible, not noticing that someone had died on your train? Mind you, half of them look dead on trains anyway, don't they? They're frightened to make any eye contact with anyone now, aren't they? Huh? Dreadful. Oh, good morning, Gary. Congratulations on getting out of bed this morning, Gary. Jason says, hopefully the flies will do all over the snowflakes. Yeah, I'll go along with that, Jason. We're sick of snowflakes. Yes, good morning to our silent viewers. We haven't said good morning to you last couple of days, have I? I do apologise. I know you're there. Don't worry. We know you're there, quietly watching, taking it all in, aren't you? Eh? What else have we got here? Just a couple more stories, and then we'll do today's raffle. All right. If you want to get something, a little bit of a water in your garden, a little paddling pool, Audi, I've got a very special offer at the moment. This, I think, came into the stores yesterday. And it says here in the Sun again, families can now let their little ones cool down in the safety of their own back gardens thanks to Audi's jumbo paddling pools. One of the pools, which measures 6 foot wide, okay, it's a cuboid. It's like square, so 6 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot. All right. It's got enough space for 4 youngsters to play in safely. Or you can just sit in there, put your feet in there. I won't need to do that because my foot spa is coming tomorrow. Foot spa coming tomorrow. It comes with a water drain valve and includes a repair kit. So if you accidentally break it in some way, it can be fixed easily. It's being sold under the Crane brand name and comes with a repair kit. And there's also a hexagonal one as well, sort of roughly the same size. Just normal children's paddling pool. You don't want anything sharp near there. I would imagine it would tear easily. But I mean, what's it now? £12.99. £12.99 for a pool like that. They've contacted Audi to find out when it's going on sale. It's not on sale yet. Okay, so that's coming on sale very, very soon. There's another one, Argos. Has a 6 foot Chad Valley pool. That's £19. It's a circular shape. It's also got a 9 foot octagonal pool. That's £50. B&Q have got Best Way PVC family swimming pool. £17. I mean, dirt cheap. Lidl has got a 12 foot swimming pool for £100. So that's quite a lot. But I mean, when you say swimming pools, it's like my niece over in Cyprus. Now they've got a very substantial swimming pool there. I mean, when I say it's a swimming pool, it's deep. It's quite deep. It's not like a paddling pool. It's quite deep, this thing, and it's like a blue sort of, I don't know what sort of material it is, but it holds all the water in, and it's tall. It's tall. You've got to climb in, go up a box, stand on a box to actually get in there. But you couldn't really do more than like 2 strokes, and then you're at the end. It's not really a swimming pool. For me, that would be pointless. It's all right to go in there and cool down in hot weather, but that's about it, I'd love my own swimming pool. I really would. You can get pools that are not very big, and I mentioned this before. They put a pump at the end, and it, like, pushes the water towards you. So you only need a small pool, and then you swim against that, although you'd never rest. It wouldn't be like getting to the end of the pool and then turning around. Every time you turn around, that's kind of like a little rest, isn't it? Like where I belong at the George Mulder Centre in Boston. God knows when we're ever going to be able to go back swimming again. But there, you get to the end, and it's a very large pool. Then for those couple of seconds that you turn around, you've basically had a rest, haven't you? For a couple of seconds. But I quite like that. Will the silent viewer ever get a voice? Are they shy, says Chris. It's up to people, Some people just like to sit there and quietly watch. We do that. Some people just like to sit there quietly and watch, and they don't want to join in on the chat, which is fine. Sometimes, and I have to say, and I don't think I don't notice the chat, you see rows in the chat box. Awful rows sometimes in the chat box, and I try not to refer to those. I'm not a teacher here. I'm not here to tell people off when they start arguing with each other. That's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me, And it's been said over time, you need more moderators. Yeah, but what about when the moderator does something that you don't like? Or the moderators start rowing with each other? You must understand that there's plenty of channels out there. Some of them have got 20, 30, 40, 50 moderators. Practically everyone on the channel is a moderator. What the hell's all that about? No, you need to sort it out yourselves. If you want to row with people on that box, you carry on and do so. It's when someone becomes really offensive and nasty, then you'll be blocked. Because that's not right. If you're just having a row, difference of his opinion, and we've seen it so many times there, then that's just how it is. It's one of the things one of the big problems, I think, that the chat box has brought in that I never had before. There was a chat box, so to speak. But there you go. You can't really go backwards. So we carry on. Thank you. Terry's just bought loads of jingles. A full station package. £1,200. Dear me, that's a lot of money, dear. Lot of money. Hello to Sean Pye. Good morning, Sean. Is watching us live in the kitchen doing spaghetti bolognese for tonight's dinner. Yes, please. Is that with dead animals, Sean? Spaghetti bolognese with dead animals, or spaghetti bolognese with some nice chopped up corn or something like that, darling. Morning to you, Sean. Sean's having a very rough time at the moment. Good morning to you, Sean. Thanks for sending in your little message there. Jason, neighbour got a 22-foot by 12-foot pool in the garden. 22 foot. You'd be able to swim 22 foot. You'd be able to go up and down, wouldn't you? That would be big enough. Oh, I'd love it. I'd love a swimming pool there. Okay. Right, get ready to do the raffle tickets. I'm going to do the raffle tickets after... Oh, I picked up the wrong one then, dear. This is the Super Chatter raffle tickets. Here's a normal. I think we might be starting a new book soon, because we're on to the 800s now. If you'd like a raffle ticket, ask now. And I shall do this after one more story. Hang on a minute, tear them out ready. Oh, I've nearly tore the bleeding tickets then. Put them in order. And I'll come to those, your requests for raffle tickets, text or otherwise, after one more story. We do one more story. Do you like alopecias? Alpacas? Alpacas. Sorry, alpacas, I think they're called. Do you do Zoom video? Who does Zoom video conference calls? Do you often find some of the people on there are a bit boring? You know, you're having this Zoom video call and there'd be some bloke on there or some woman droning on and on about something completely uninteresting. Unlike this show. Every second of this show is very interesting. I know that for a fact. My sister tells me she's enthralled by this show. She can't take her eyes off the screen. Sometimes the dinner's late because she's been watching this show. And I get a phone call from my brother-in-law. Can you stop doing such fantastic shows? Your sister keeps making the dinner late. Anyway, it says, deep in the throes of Zoom fatigue, it might be time to add some excitement to your video calls and virtual work meetings. You could just change up your virtual background. This is not virtual, instead. This exists. This is a backdrop. I've seen some of the virtual backdrops and they're just blooming awful. You've got to know what you're doing with those. I wouldn't know. I mean, some of the backdrops and the face is not moving at the right time, or it's obvious that it's not really there. The BBC can do it, of course. When I went up to BBC Lincolnshire, they had a little TV studio there where they do interviews and things like that. And they got this thing. It's not actually green, it's grey. They've got a grey backdrop. And over there is like a selection of photos that they can project on that grey backdrop, and it comes when they do the telly. You've got like a proper camera there, thousands of pounds. It's got a little light round it, this camera. Very good. I could do with one of those ring lights here, I think, because I'm, on my face here. It might make me look even older than I do now, dear me. Anyway, it says you could just change up your virtual background, or you could organise an alpaca. Is it alpaca? Alpaca to join your chat. How camp would that be? So you can have all these people on there and suddenly an alpaca comes in and joins the chat. It says, don't stress, you don't need to hunt down your own alpaca to tackle the boredom of endless Zoom calls. There's a bloke, Bob Crosby of Bobcat Alpacas in Edinburgh, and he's offering businesses the chance to book in 20-minute virtual meet and greet sessions with this herd of alpacas in return for a suggested donation of £100 to End of Life charity Marie Curie, who do some fantastic work. I've never had the experience to contact Marie Curie, fortunately, for anyone that I've known at all, but they will come in. Oh, wonderful people. Wonderful people, those Marie Curie people. Nothing is too much for them. Some of the stories I've heard about them, people that have got something, a terrible illness, and they lose control of all their bits and pieces, and not a problem. They just come in and they clear you up. Hearts of gold. These are the heroes of the world. People like Marie Curie nurses, not me. Not politicians, not people on the telly. Marie Curie nurses, they are the heroes of the world. They really are. It says, here's how it works. If you want an alpaca, I think that's how you say it, alpaca. It's not alopecia. That's something to do with your hair, isn't it? I don't know, dear. If you want an alpaca to Zoom bomb an important work call, you can email fiona.bushby@mariecurie.org.uk to book it in, as long as you commit to a donation to the charity, which is fair enough. Beautiful animals. Are they quite harmless, alpacas? They just look funny, don't they? There's certain animals that look funny, don't you think? And an alpaca is one of them. In an arranged Zoom call, you'll get a virtual visit from some adorable alpacas. Actually, there's alpacas on the road that I travel back from the caravan back to here. There's a field of alpacas that I go past. I remember the first time I said, "What's that over there?" They look like camels. No, alpacas. You could tell your co-workers to expect this or keep it a surprise. Best to keep it a surprise, I reckon. We'd recommend the latter option. Bob says we've supported Marie Curie for many years, ever since we set up Bobcat Alpacas in 2015, just 10 minutes down the road from the Marie Curie Hospice in Edinburgh. We often visit the hospice with the alpacas. That's just wonderful. Isn't that heartwarming? Who proved popular, as you can imagine. I've met many of the incredible staff and hundreds of patients and families, also grateful for the care and support Marie Curie provide. So when we heard they were facing a funding crisis, we wanted to find a way to help. So, I mean, that's just wonderful. Perhaps I'm sure some of you on here, business people, who have got Zoom meetings or something like that, and might be interested to just for a bit of a laugh while you're sitting there bored to tears while someone's reeling off another set of figures or something like that, depressingly telling you that you're about to be made redundant or something like that, then to have suddenly an alpaca appear in one of the screens, that's worth 100 quid, isn't it? Eh? Going back to a story we did just a little while ago about Justin Urquhart Stewart, who's one of the money blokes that I really like to listen to him when he's talking. And he was saying, make no bones about it, a lot of these retail jobs that went are not coming back. People have found a new way to shop. They are doing it all online. I've been doing it for some time now. Not my supermarket shopping. I still quite like to go into a supermarket and have a look around, But other stuff, electrical items, well, I stopped going to Curry's years ago. I found their service abysmal in there, Curry's. Them and Dixon's. Dreadful service. All very eager to sell you something, but not interested when it goes wrong. Absolutely horrendous. I don't know if it's got any better now in Curry's. Why would I do that? I order something off Amazon, it comes, goes wrong, you tell them, and they immediately send you a sticker, a label to put on the parcel and send it back to them. And the moment you've dropped it into the post office or like Star Supermarket, wherever you want to drop it into, as soon as they've scanned it, bang, the money's back in your account. They've really got that down to a T, Amazon. John Lewis are very good at it as well. And I quite like walking around John Lewis. But there was lots of shops out there, businesses, pubs and clothes. That's it. They're gone, mate. They're gone. And that's what Justin Urquhart Stewart was saying. He said what's going to have to happen is that lots of people are going to have to be retrained for other jobs. And he can see things being manufacturing happening here now. He can see that happening. Haven't we got the Tesla bloke? Isn't he building a battery factory in Essex? Did I mention that the other day? Tesla battery factory UK. I think Elon Musk keeps sending satellites up, doesn't he? Here we go. Tesla Gigafactory UK. No, that's Nevada. Hang on a minute. I thought he was going to do one here. Let's have a look. Here we... Oh, no, I can't find it now. Tesla UK factory rumour gains some traction as Elon Musk gets involved. There you go. There you go. So we might be having one of those big factories here to make up the batteries and what have you. Very interesting, all this technology stuff. Okie doke. Let's do the raffle tickets then. One moment. Where are we going? Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. 893 for lovely Maureen in London there. Don't go out Saturday, Maureen. Lots of trouble in London on Saturday, I fear. Both sides. John Aitken. 894. Michael Lawrence, 895. Mick Davenport, 896. Peter Wright, 897. Fran Green, 898. Diane Jebb, 899. Who's getting 900? It is... Rachel Wheatland. Ticket number 900 for Rachel. Remember, gang, you need to write down these numbers. It's up to you to claim when we do the draw on Monday. If you can't be with us live on Monday, doesn't matter. Watch the recording to see if you've won, and then you can claim your ticket by email, and then I'll let everyone know. But it's up to you to claim. We don't read the names out. And neither does Jason anymore, do you, Jason? Jason's not going to tell you either. There you go. 900 for Rachel Wheatland. Let's just scroll up a bit there, my loves. Where did we get to? Michael. There's Michael's. Michael. Sorry, gang. Just bear with me a second. I've lost my place. Diane. There's lovely Rachel. AMS Clark. Thank you, AMS. 901 for AMS Clark. Heidi Young, 902. Yeah, we're looking at July, I reckon, Heidi, and I'll be able to go up to my caravan at last. Although I'm a bit concerned about spiders. God knows what. I mean, my sister's been in there a couple of times, and my nephew, and they have both done spider checks. Spider checks. Also, I need someone to go and service the air conditioning heating units in there, because they've been there a year now. I don't really want to call out the people that have put them in, because they have to come miles. It's like a day's job to them, and of course then you have to pay the travelling, which I understand. They've got to do the travelling, but I need to find someone closer to service the air conditioning there, I think. Thank you, Heidi. 902 for lovely Heidi Young. Mari, all right, Mari. 903 for Mari. Mari and me are quite pleased because Barry Manilow's been moved back to June next year. Hopefully we'll still be here, Mari. Touch wood, darling. All right. Tony King, 904. There's Jason Hughes, 905. There's our Shania, 906. I remember my first Holy Communion. We went up the convent in Roehampton to have morning breakfast up there, cakes and jellies and all that. And all the little girls had like wedding gowns on, didn't they? When they go for the first Holy Communion, I had a little suit on. It's wonderful seeing that first Holy Communion thing and all the children dressed up to it in their wonderful clothes and all that. I love anything like that. Sean is doing spaghetti bolognese with dead animals. Unfortunately, how awful! You must become a vegetarian, Sean, soon, my darling. 907, ticket number 907 for Paul and Lou. DSL DG2 it just likes chilling. There you go. There's a lot of silent viewers on there. A lot of silent viewers. Mr. Media Wait, good morning to you. Good day to you, sir. Where are we going with these tickets? Let me scroll down. Andy, thank you. 908 for young Andy. George Spons, Gary Owen's got a green back. Yeah, his is quite good. He's done his quite well, I must say. George, it's all. I think Martin was telling me, my brother-in-law, it's all about the lighting with green backdrops. You've got to get the lighting right, otherwise it looks terrible. I mean, it really does. But you're quite right. Gary Owen's got a very good... it works very well for him. Mr. Media Mate does Zoom quite regularly. Get yourself a donation to the Marie Curie place, and then you can have alpacas on it. Peter Wright, you should do a Zoom chat with us all. I don't think so, Peter. You'd just get on my nerves, mate. I don't think I would want to do that at all, Peter. Oh dear, no thank you. Can you just imagine all the people screaming and shouting all the time? I don't think so, Peter. No backdrop for me, no. I like the real thing behind me. They're a bit old-fashioned, perhaps I would. Rachel, I don't think he'd want to see some of us on Zoom first thing in the morning. I don't know about that. Michael Pullman used to own alpacas. Most clean animals you could have. Yeah, they look clean. They look clean. Are they intelligent animals, alpacas? Pigs are very intelligent. Pigs are very highly intelligent animals, pigs. More intelligent than dogs. You know, believe me, they know when... Oh, it's awful. Oh, they know when they're going in that place. They're, shall we say, they're final. I don't even like to say the word. It's a horrible word. Certain words have got a really horrible ring to them, haven't they? Begins with A and ends in twa. Awful word. This might be the late. I might think of another story to tell yet, Sean. I haven't decided yet. You know, could this be the first 4-hour show? Don't know, darling. Might be. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I'm glad to see that you've had enough of my singing at last. With Zoom, you display PowerPoint pictures, videos, have a custom backdrop. Tropical moving beach. That sounds quite nice. A tropical moving beach. Very nice indeed. An alpaca while Shania's doing the rosary. Oh, I don't know how well that would go down. You sit there, Hail Mary, full of... What's that? Uber sacked 3,000 people on Zoom. Did they really? That surprised me. Is there any good news? The whole show has been good news, Lawrence, Michael. The whole show's been good news. Fran likes the sound of doing manufacturing in her own country. That's what that bloke said, Justin Urquhart Stewart. Look him up. He's very, very full of money knowledge. But absolutely fascinating person to watch. He really is. Ross Herndon, thank you. 909 for Ross. Ross Herndon, 901. There we are. Is that everyone? I think that's everyone. If we've missed anyone out, please speak now, my darlings. If you haven't had your raffle ticket, please speak now. Some email requests for raffle tickets there, which I'll deal with immediately after the show. Meanwhile, let's just do today's birthdays. I've only got 2 birthdays today. First of all, a very good friend of mine, Eric Wiltshire, who runs a radio station in Slovakia. He used to do a technology phone-in, funnily enough. We were talking about that earlier on LBC. He used to be one of Steve Allen's guests. And he's a lovely chap, Eric Wiltshire. I see that you've hidden your age there, Eric, you naughty boy. Eric's hidden his age. A big happy birthday to you, Eric Wiltshire, my dear friend in Slovakia. Happy birthday, sir. And Kim Cook today is a young 57 years old. Just 2 of you. But happy birthday to you both. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right, my sweet people, happy birthday to both of you. Did we miss anyone out on tickets? I'm just having a little quick look there. No song today. I'm sorry, Mandy. Doesn't look like there's going to be a song today. We've run out of time to have a little song, darling. Have I got everyone's ticket there? Hang on, let me just scroll down a little bit there. Morning to James Humble joining us there. Morning, James. Sitting there quietly on the side there. That's it, isn't it? I think we're all done there. can't see anyone that I've missed out there. All right, thanks very much for joining us on the show today, boys and girls. I should be going out for one of my mega walks today, but well, maybe not a mega walk because they reckon it's going to sort of rain at about midday. I've got some washing to do. I really want to do this washing in there. I might put it on. I could hang it up in the kitchen, I suppose, couldn't I, or something like that. And perhaps my foot spa will come today. Who knows? It's Friday night tonight, boys and girls, but guess what? We're not going out still. Nothing to do. What am I going to do tonight? Watch the telly again, I suppose. Get some other bits and pieces ready. I'll see you again tomorrow morning around about the same time, 8:45. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you to those of you that popped a tip over into the sort of tip jar today. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a nice day. Bye-bye now.